Now, Southern California's news leader, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Now at 6:30, two people zip-tied in their Woodland Hills home as thieves ransacked the place.
Plus, it could be chaos for commuters this morning. Construction work is now underway along Topanga Canyon Boulevard. We're live with the closures now in place.
A pilot's problem. A 14-hour United Airlines flight to Shanghai ended up diverting after the pilot realized he left his passport at home. Oops. Good morning. I'm Leslie Sykes along with John Gregory, Irene Cruz. Rachel's off.
Well, we have hot temperatures to start off the week. We have Leslie Lopez with more on our forecast.
Hi, good morning. That's right. It's very pretty right now. So if you're waking up and walking out the door, clear skies as far as you can see. We have offshore conditions, so those offshore winds are really assisting in getting the cloud coverage out of here. However, they're also able to move around some pollens really well today. So it is dry, and we do have pollens moving. So if you're an allergy or sinus sufferer, today is just probably not going to be your favorite day. Burbank, you're back to about 56 degrees, 53 into Riverside, and then over to Santa Ana, 57, 45 degrees into Lancaster. If you like the heat, it is your favorite day. We're talking about some very warm temperatures. Downtown Los Angeles, 87, Inland Orange County, 83 degrees, and boy, is it going to be warming way up. Over in the valleys, Inland Empire, 91, and we have the possibility of maybe breaking a record out into Woodland Hills today, but it looks as though most of us will probably stay just below that threshold. For the coastline, it's back to 70. Our mountains are going to get up to about 67 degrees, and then the high desert communities, you're going to see those temperatures make it up to about 89. We'll have more coming up in a full forecast because now I have some rain in the forecast, so I'll show you that coming up. Scott Wright, Air 7, watching on the roads. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Leslie, good morning. Good morning, everyone. You know, our drive for this Monday morning hasn't been all that bad. A lot of problems popped up, but most of them cleared. We're in downtown. We're looking south. So what you're looking at is the 110 northbound coming up out of South L.A., starting before Slauson. You come up towards the Coliseum, and it's crowded. But once you get into downtown, it does look a little better, about normal for this time of the morning. No accidents or stalls in this area. We'll go to a map, 60 westbound. Now, if that's your drive, 60 westbound, you're traveling, you know, across the 605, you're headed towards San Gabriel Boulevard. That's a slow one. 60 freeway westbound at San Gabriel Boulevard. We have a crash blocking the two right lanes, and that is enough to cause some delays to that Rosemead, South El Monte area on the 60 westbound. I think the West 10 through El Monte could be a better bet, but keep that in mind. The 60 westbound is slow. John, Leslie, and Irene.
All right, Scott, thanks. New this morning, police are on the hunt for two men who ransacked a home in Woodland Hills overnight. Authorities say two men broke into a home, zip-tied a man and woman who once owned a coin business. They then locked a woman into another room while they ransacked the house and took off with a safe. The two victims were trapped for 4 to 5 hours. They tell police they're not sure what was in the safe.
Just about an hour ago, construction work began on parts of Topanga Canyon Boulevard in the San Fernando Valley.
And closures are expected all week. Eyewitness News reporter Carly Gomez is live in Warner Center with everything you need to know. Carly?
Good morning. Yeah, we're seeing that the closures to the right-hand lane is expected to cause some of those delays as merging traffic will slow things down from 3 lanes to 2 lanes here, as we'll also see those intermittent closures and lane closures stretching from the 101 to the 118. Caltrans is reconstructing curb ramps as part of the State Route 27 repavement project. The project includes upgrades to pedestrian push buttons as well as reinforcing concrete surfaces for buses. Here are the list of streets affected off Topanga Canyon Boulevard. They include Plummer Street down to Khalifa Street, with the longest stretch from Calvert to Wyandotte, which is about 1.5 miles. Now, the lane closures are expected to be starting today all the way through next Monday, March 31st till 5:30 a.m. Now, weather permitting, they'll continue some of that construction, but they could also continue to wrap things up within that matter of 1 week. So make sure you're planning accordingly and getting over toward those left-hand lanes before the merging does begin. Live here in Warner Center, Carly Gomez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Carly, thank you very much for that live update. A family is grieving the loss of a construction worker killed on the job. The Caltrans subcontractor was struck and killed by a pickup truck on the 91 freeway early Friday morning. He leaves behind a wife of 15 years and 2 children. His traffic death is serving as a reminder to exercise extreme caution in construction zones.
Wonderful father, wonderful husband, and the best of all, the greatest son anybody can have. That was my son, Jose Manteco.
Please respect the workers. Post the speed limits. just be careful. You know, they got families, they got friends, real people.
A GoFundMe has been set up to help the family.
Well, happening today, CAL FIRE expected to drop updated maps showing where wildfires are most likely to occur within the next few decades. Behind me here, this is the current map. You can see Malibu, a lot of red in the Malibu area, the Palisades over here, currently not in that zone. It'll be interesting to see if it changes later today. And then you have Pasadena. Here's the area where the Eaton fire broke out. So you got spots of red there. Again, it'll be interesting to see if that changes with these new maps. The risk level on the map is split into 3 categories: moderate, high, and in bright red, very high. The factors used to determine the severity include topography, fire weather, flame length, past history, and vegetation type. The urgency to release this updated map comes from an executive order signed by Governor Newsom last month after the LA wildfires. Later today, Supervisor Barger will be holding a virtual media availability with local fire officials so we can better understand what these maps mean for our local communities.
LA Mayor Karen Bass is headed to Sacramento today, along with other city officials, to discuss a projected $1 billion budget gap. Bass says due to lower revenues and rising costs, the city urgently needs more funding. She'll also be calling for a change in the way the city budget process operates. The city says a recent financial status report shows the city is overspending in areas like liability claims. The recent fires have also increased city spending and impacted the local economy.
Well, we're hearing now from family and friends of Rebecca Marodi, the Riverside CAL FIRE captain who was brutally murdered in her home last month. This comes after Marodi's wife Yolanda was captured in Mexico and then turned over to U.S. Marshals.
Yolanda Marodi seen here in Mexico, handcuffed for allegedly stabbing her wife of 2 years to death. She's now heading back to California to be formally